This is what's wild in New Hampshire by wildlife biologist Eric Orff. Hey, this is August 24th, 2022. Had me down to my old stomping grounds, Londonderry, New Hampshire, where I grew up. Particularly right here. This is a wonderful spot. This is a New Hampshire Fish and Game Department wetland called Little Cohas Marsh. It's where I learned to duck hunt in 1966. Over 50 years ago. And here's Little Cohas Marsh, August 24th, 2022. Don't see any ducks right now, but it's the middle of the day. Wouldn't expect to see them. The marsh hasn't changed a lot. There's houses over there that weren't there. And for 30 years or close to it, I checked the duck boxes for New Hampshire Fish and Game at this marsh. They built houses over there, and one day, while checking the duck boxes there, I saw an albino porcupine. I did. So this is kind of the south side. I'm on Hall Road in Londonderry, looking at Little Cohas Marsh. All right. This car go by, and I'll swing over to the other side. Well, I grew up down that way, but about a half a mile that way. It was about a half a mile walk through the woods and fields to get down to right over there. See that tall pine tree over there? I know that tree. I know those trees over there. In fact, right next to that pine tree, in 1963 or 4, I built, well, I guess you could call it a tree stand. It was an observation platform where I could spend time, hours, overlooking the marsh, seeing what was going on. I even tried duck hunting it for once, but it was a little too far from the water. It was back from the edge. Duck hunted here, yes I did. A lot of wonderful memories. On a Sunday night, Hall Road would be lined with cars, people watching the wood ducks. There would be dozens, if not hundreds of wood ducks leaving this marsh at sunset to go overnight to roost someplace else. But there would be dozens and maybe hundreds of wood ducks every night, and starting in September, beginning in early September, particularly on a Sunday night, both sides of this road, which was a dirt road. In fact, it was a dirt road that cost me a transmission in my old Volvo because it got so muddy in the spring. When I tried to get through it and gunned it, I ruined the transmission in my Volvo. I had to replace it. Well, Little Cohas Marsh, coloring up already, August 24th. There's lots of color out there. I can see individual trees that are maples that are red, orange and red. A lot of others, the tinge of color. we're on the cusp of fall here at Little Cohas Marsh, Londonderry, New Hampshire. A wonderful 200+ acre wetland created by a dam built in the, I'm thinking the 50s, by the New Hampshire Fish and Game Department, and a place that I fell in love with early on and helped me through the rest of my career as a wildlife biologist for the New Hampshire Fish and Game Department, and also for the National Wildlife Federation, who I work for now. Well, yeah, I learned a lot at Little Cohas Marsh. Thank you, New Hampshire Fish and Game, for creating this wetland when there were few beavers in the state to do so in the 40s and 50s. They were just making a comeback. Beavers were scarce, wetlands were scarce. Fish and Game built dams to create wetlands, to bring back the waterfowl. Great, great memories of Little Cohas Marsh. This is wildlife biologist Eric Orff for what's wild in New Hampshire. Little Cohas Marsh in Londonderry is wild in New Hampshire.